Hare Krishna Mataji, nowadays we are sharing the slokas at the end only. So the sloka recitation will be at the end, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Madhi, you said something?
Yes, Mataji. Generally, we were reciting the slokas before the class. Now we are doing it at the end.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Subramanya Mataji told to recite at the end of the class.
Okay,
so
fine.
we can start this class directly.
Okay,
Hare
fine.
Krishna.
Okay. So, shall we start now? Or let us wait for
Yes, Mataji.
2-3 minutes? Okay.
We can start, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhus and Matajis, please accept my humble obeisances. So let us start with the invocation. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurube Namaha Nigamakalpatarurgalitam Phalam Sugamukadamrita Drapasam Yutam Bipata Bhavatam Rasamalayam Muhurahurasika Bhuvibhavukaham Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tadojayam Budhirayet नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं बाहवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीम् ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Om karoti achalam pangam nangayati girim yatkripatamaha mande Shri Gurun Deenadarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So I have to share the screen, right? We are in Canto 1, Chapter 15. The Pandavas retired timely. And we have to do from verse 16, right?
Yes, Mataji, 16. 1.15.16.
Yeah. Okay. So the Pandavas actually retiring. In the previous chapter, the title is The Lords Disappear from this material world. So once they hear the news that the Lord has disappeared, then they also wants to move from this material world. So we are in that part. So let us start from chapter text 16. Can anyone read the sloka?
Yes, Mataji, I'll start. Pranams. Text 16. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yadhoshuma pranihitam Guru Bhishma Karna Napritrigarta Shalya Shaindava Bahlikadhyai Ashtrani Amoga Mahimani Nirupitani Nopashprushur Nrihari Dasham Ivashurani. Translation.
Can anyone read the translation? Anyone
Thank
else? Yeah, thank you.
Bhargavi Mataji is raising her hands.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat
Hare
Pranams.
Krishna.
Translation by His Divine Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Great generals like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Bhurishrava, Susharma, Salya, Jayadratha, and Bahlika all directed their invincible weapons against me. But by his Lord Krishna's grace, they could not even touch a hair on my head. Similarly, Prahalada Maharaja, the supreme devotee of Lord Narasimhadeva, was unaffected by the weapons the demons used against him. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So the purport is very lengthy. We are going to read out by paragraph by paragraph. So one person can go through paragraph by paragraph.
Mataji, Kusumlata Mataji, Archana Sunil Kumar Mataji, and myself, we all are raising the hands, Mataji. So let Kusumlata Mataji start. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The history of Prahlad Maharaj, the great devotee of Narasimha, is narrated in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj, a small child of only 5 years, became the object of envy for his great father, Hiranyakashipu, only because of his becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. The demon father employed all his weapons to kill the devotee's son, Prahlad. But by the grace of the Lord, he was saved from all sorts of dangerous actions by his father. He was thrown in a fire in boiling oil from the top of a hill underneath the legs of an elephant, and he was administered poison. At last, the father himself took up a chopper to kill his son, and thus Narasimha Dev appeared and killed the heinous father in the presence of the son. Thus, no one can kill the devotee of the Lord. Similarly, Arjun was also saved by the Lord, although all dangerous weapons were employed by his opponents like Bhishma. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna
So,
Mataji, Archana Mataji is raised.
yeah,
Mataji.
yeah, Mataji. Let us discuss this and we'll move on to the next paragraph. So here,
Yes.
the topic is about Yudhishthira Maharaj actually seeing a lot of bad omens, and when actually Arjuna was not there with him, he actually went to see the Krishna in Dwaraka about his present pastimes and about his future plan and all. Then that time only they actually noticed that bad omens, and Yudhishthira Maharaj and Bhima was discussing. Yudhishthira Maharaj was actually discussing with Bhima. So they already understood that, okay, the Lord won't be there. That's why we are seeing all these bad omens. Then Arjuna was actually returned, and he was blabbering. He was actually lamenting that the Lord was not there. He already left the place. So when he was actually in the grievous condition, he is saying all these words to Yudhishthira Maharaj. So when Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and Bhurishrava, Susharma, these are all the great personalities, great warriors. When Arjuna was actually fighting with these people, but they couldn't actually attack Arjuna at any time. Even though they are very great warriors, they couldn't actually attack Arjuna because by the Lord's mercy. So that is the mood of a devotee. So the devotee always understood that whatever is happening, it's not by his own endeavor, it's all by the mercy of the Lord. Whatever he achieved, so everything is given by the mercy of the Lord. So here also Arjuna expressed his feeling that by the mercy of the Lord, nobody actually attacked him. So but by his grace, they could not even actually touch his matter. Okay, similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, he also gave a nice example. The Prahlad Maharaj, according to his age, he was very young, 5 years old, but his own father, out of actually he actually wants to kill his own son because of his devotion. He doesn't want the devotional son, so he wants to actually kill Prahlad Maharaj. He doesn't consider his age, so he actually tried to attack him in various ways, but still the Lord actually protected him. If Krishna wants to save anybody, no one can kill that person. If Krishna wants to kill one person, then no one can actually save him. So these words actually were proved by all these pastimes. So here Arjuna is lamenting that he was such a great friend of mine, and he protected me and protected us in all this time. These words were also expressed by his mother. Kunti also actually expressed that whenever the dangerous situation, whatever challenges they faced in their life, all those time they were actually protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he actually expressed that they missed his presence a lot. So in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining about each character and their qualities. Okay, we heard about Karna. in many places, especially in Mahabharata, in other Shastras, and through other medias also. They are glorifying Karna in various ways. So let us see what Prabhupada says in this about his character. Yeah, Mataji, please continue.
Archana Mataji, can you please continue?
Hare Krishna, pranams Mataji. Karna, born of Kunti by the sun god prior to her marriage with Maharaja Pandu. Karna took his birth with bangles and earrings, extraordinary signs for an undaunted hero. In the beginning, his name was Vasusena, but when he grew up, he presented his natural bangles and earrings to Indradeva, and thenceforward he became known as Vaikartana. After his birth from the maiden Kundi, he was thrown in the Ganges. Later, he was picked up by Adhiratha, and he and his wife Radha brought him up as their own offspring. Karna was very charitable, especially toward the Brahmanas. There was nothing he could not spare for a Brahmana. In the same charitable spirit, he gave in charity his natural bangles and earrings to Indradeva, who, being very much satisfied with him, gave him in return a great weapon called Shakti. He was admitted as one of the students of Dronacharya, and from the very beginning, there was some rivalry between him and Arjuna. Seeing his constant rivalry with Arjuna, Duryodhana picked him up as his companion, and this gradually grew into greater intimacy. He was also present in the great assembly of Draupadi's Swayamvara function, and when he attempted to exhibit his talent in that meeting, Draupadi's brother declared that Karna could not take part in the competition because of his being the son of a Sudra carpenter. Although he was refused in the competition, still, when Arjuna was successful in piercing the fish target on the ceiling and Draupadi bestowed her garland upon Arjuna, Karna and the other disappointed princes offered an unusual stumbling block to Arjuna while he was leaving with Draupadi. Specifically, Karna fought with him very valiantly, but all of them were defeated by Arjuna. Duryodhana was very much pleased with Karna because of his constant rivalry with Arjuna, and when he was in power, he enthroned Karna in the state of Anga. Being baffled in his attempt to win Draupadi, Karna advised Duryodhana to attack King Drupada, for after defeating him, both Arjuna and Draupadi could be arrested. But Dronacharya rebuked them for this conspiracy and they refrained from the action. Karna was defeated many times not only by Arjuna but also by Bhimasena. He was the king of the kingdom of Bengal, Orissa, and Madras combined. Later on, he took an active part in Rajasoya sacrifice of Maharaja Yudhishthira, and when there was gambling between the rival brothers designed by Shaguni, Karna took part in the game and he was very pleased when Draupadi was offered as a bet in the gambling. This fed his old grudge. When Draupadi was in the game, he was very enthusiastic to declare the news, and it is he who ordered Dushasana to take away the garments of both the Pandavas and Draupadi. He asked Draupadi to select another husband because, being lost by the Pandavas, she was rendered a slave of the Kurus. He was always an enemy of the Pandavas, and whenever there was an opportunity, he tried to curb them all by all means. During the Battle of Kurukshetra, he foresaw the conclusive result and he expressed his opinion that due to Lord Krishna's being the chariot driver of Arjuna, the battle should be won by Arjuna. He always differed with Bhishma, and sometimes he was proud enough to say that within 5 days he could finish up the Pandavas if Bhishma would not interfere with his plan of action. But he was much mortified when Bhishma died. He killed Gadolkaja with Shakti weapon obtained from Indradeva. His son Vrishasena was killed by Arjuna. He killed the largest number of Pandava soldiers. At last there was a severe fight with Arjuna, and it was he only who was able to knock off the helmet of Arjuna. But it so happened that The wheel of his chariot stuck in the battlefield mud, and when he got down to set the wheel right, Arjuna took the opportunity and killed him, although he requested Arjuna not to do so.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mataji. So, Prabhupada has elaborately or summarized about the qualities of Karna and what was in his mind and what are the actions he has done to the Pandavas and his family. Okay. So, and he actually in the end he mentioned that when he was not without weapon, when he was on the floor, that time he asked actually Arjuna, don't actually fight with me now. But even though he requested, Arjuna actually hit an arrow with him. So that is also, he mentioned openly everything. So from this paragraph, what is your understanding? Yeah, he's a great person. He's a son of the sun god. Kundi Devi has given birth in her early age. It was a boon given by Durvasa Muni, so she wants to test it unknowingly. So because of her innocence, she actually tested the mantra with the sun god, and through that she got the son Karna. But what she did immediately, she covered him. She actually placed him in a basket and she put or threw him in the Ganges. And Atirtha and his wife Radha, they actually received Karna, and they actually brought up Karna. So when we actually go through this paragraph, so what is your understanding? What are the qualities he possesses?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare-
What I understood is he was very good person, but he was having some enviousness towards Pandavas from the beginning. So though he was good, he was simply making them as enemies, and he was simply troubling them along with Duryodhana. So because of that wrong association only, he has been portrayed as a bad person. Hare Krishna.
If he was very good, why he actually took a wrong side?
Obligation, because Duryodhana gave him the kingdom and gave him that respect of a Kshatriya.
So means he wants the material opulence.
Yes.
He wants position.
Yes, because he was a
Mataji,
Kshatriya, but he was treated as a Sutaputra.
No, how
Shudra.
do he know that he was a Kshatriya? He doesn't know, no? Later only he came to know. Before
But
the
he has the
Kurukshetra war.
skills, as we see, Varnashrama, like according to the skills, he had that warrior qualities, which he learned from Parshuram.
Arjuna.
Yeah,
Oh.
Parshuram. Actually, he was the disciple of Dronacharya also. They all actually studied under Dronacharya. Okay, so during their study, that time Arjuna actually showed all his talents. So he was actually very close to Dronacharya because of his talents. He was talented, so Dronacharya was very close to him. So he got that envious nature. He developed that envious nature in the young age itself. So he wants to be the first. Some people, they have the tendency, they want to be in the first always. So when he once the coaching is actually going on, when the coaching is going on, that time itself he requested Dronacharya that I want to learn the divine weapon, how to actually use the divine weapons like Brahmastra and all. So Dronacharya asked, okay, what is the purpose, why do you want to learn that? So this is a natural question, as a teacher. So he also, what is the purpose, why do you want to learn that? So for that, actually, he responded that in order to actually come over, or in order to prove that he is actually very good or talented than Arjuna. So for that purpose, I want to learn all these things. So immediately Dronacharya refused to actually teach him these things, these divine weapons. Then only he actually went to Parshuram. Okay, later he went to Parshuram and he actually lied him. He didn't actually tell him that from where he came from and all. He actually lied him that he was a Brahmana, and later Parshurama came to know about his real position, and he actually cursed him. Okay, so that is another story. So he lied him. So through his actions, he is very charitable. In one way, yeah, he is very charitable. Whoever asked anything, especially to the Brahmins, he is ready to give anything and everything. So he actually given his that Kavasha
Bangle.
Kundala. Yeah,
That
earrings
is-
and bangles. That Kavasha Kundala, he handed over that also. That purposefully, actually, Indra disguised him and he came to protect his son. He actually disguised him as a Brahmin and he asked some charity. So that time he was actually going to take bath in the river. So he doesn't have anything with him. So when he told him that he doesn't have anything, but he immediately pointed out about his earrings and Kavacha Kundala. So he understood that because previously his father Suryadev already warned him that one person will actually will cheat you, so be careful. But he said that if the person particularly wants anything from me, so if I have it, I can't refuse because that is my nature. So he expected and it happened. And Indradeva later, actually, he also gave some astra shakti to Karna. So these are the happenings. So one should not actually develop that quality like vengeance, tit for tat. And this thing happened because of the position. When he was actually looking their position, he actually got hurted in two events. Especially the first one is when after the Gurukula, all these boys, they went to actually show their talents in Hastinapur. That time Dronacharya actually show his disciples how they actually talented, how they all well trained and all in front of all the kings and queens. So that time they all actually showed their talent. So Arjuna was very powerful. He showed his talent. So he was also in the mid of the crowd, in the middle of that crowd. So he also wants to show his power. So yeah, as a disabled, they allowed. But actually, in that place, only Kshatriyas are allowed to show their talents. So it is not, he is not actually suitable to show his talent over there. If it is in Gurukul, yeah, they will allow it. But this is specially for Kshatriyas. So the chance was not given to him. So he got very upset and angry towards these Kshatriyas. So this is the first incident. And the second one is Swayambara. When the Swayambara happened to Draupadi, that time also he was not allowed to show his talent. So when Arjuna got success and when he actually take away Draupadi with him, when he was actually coming out, that time itself, whoever got disappointed with even Karna, they also actually tried to attack Arjuna. So all these incidents show that he was already having that vengeance in his mind. And another thing it is mentioned here that because Bhishma Deva was very much affectionate towards that Pandavas, even though he is in the opposite side, he is having very much affection, and because he follows Dharma, so he is very affectionate towards. So because of that, he actually hated Bhishma Deva also. He always have the difference of opinion with Bhishma Deva. So till Bhishma Deva was in the warrior side, soldier side, he didn't take part in the war. Once he actually killed, then later only he joined in the war and he fought with the Pandavas. So these are some incidents.
Hare Krishna,
And
Mataji, I have a question. Sorry.
Yes,
Can I
Mataji.
ask right now, Mataji? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we studied in Bhagavad Gita, where it is said that God has created this Varnashrama. Varnashrama means, because of the Varna, because of the skills, you are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. So here, why is Karna not given that Kshatriya status, even in spite of him being, a very good warrior? He had those skills of a Kshatriya, but still he was considered as a Sutaputra, a Shudra. So this is a
No,
little
that
contradiction.
No, it's not contradiction. He was actually allowed to study with the Kshatriyas. In the school, there is no actually difference between the Kshatriyas and other children. If they really have the tendency to learn all these talents, then Dronacharya was a teacher. He was a teacher to all. So they were allowed. But his mood was different. When there is a place for Kshatriyas, it doesn't mean that when they have the talent, they will actually occupy the Kshatriya's place. No. Because the Dronacharya called all the kings and queens and they want to show their son's talent in front of them, how he actually trained their sons in such a way. So in that time, he also wants to show this one. So that is not the right place to show his talent. So
Okay,
that's
okay.
why Dronacharya actually did that. So,
Okay. Thank
but
you,
he
Mataji.
actually taught all the skills to him. He didn't refuse.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll move on to the next paragraph.
Divya Desai Mataji is raising her hands. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji, please.
Napta or Burishrava. Burishrava was the son of Somadatta, a member of the Kuru family. His other brother was Salya. Both the brothers and the fathers attended the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi. All of them appreciated the wonderful strength of Arjuna due to his being the devotee friend of the Lord, and thus Burishrava advised the sons of Dhritarashtra not to pick any quarrel or fight with them. All of them also attended the Rajasuya Yajna of Maharaja Yudhishthira. He possessed one Akshuhini regiment of army, cavalry, elephants, and chariots, and all these were employed in the battle of Kurukshetra on behalf of Duryodhana's party. He was counted by Bhima as one of the Yuthapatis. In the battle of Kurukshetra, he was especially engaged in a fight with Satyaki and he killed 10 sons of Satyaki. Later on, Arjuna cut off his hand and he was ultimately killed by Satyaki. After his death, he merged into the existence of Vishwadeva. Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So another great personality, Burishrava. He doesn't have that vengeance in his mind, but he also actually supported the Pandavas. But during the wartime, he was on the other side, opposite side, and he got actually killed by Arjuna. Not killed by Arjuna, actually he has cut off his hands, and he was ultimately killed by Satyaki. Okay. The next person.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah,
Trigartha or Susharma, son of Maharaja Vridhakshetra, he was king of Trigartha Desha and he was also present in Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi. He was one of the allies of Duryodhana and he advised Duryodhana to attack the Matsya Desha, Darbhanga. During the time of cow stealing in Virata Nagara, he was able to arrest Maharaja Virata, but later Maharaja Virata was released by Bhima. In the battle of Kurukshetra, he also fought very valiantly, but at the end he was killed by Arjuna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So these are the statements. It is actually going to support the end point of this session. They are actually very valiant. They possess all the talents, great personalities. They are great kings. But even though the Kshatriya has Rajoguna, they have mixed mode. They are in the mixed mode, no? Sattvagunam and Rajogunam. So mixed mode. So because of the Rajoguna, they used to do like that. They actually stolen cows from Vidarbha and they arrested the king also. Then later Bhima fought with them and he released Virata's king. So like that, the Kshatriyas used to fight with each other, but at the end, he was killed by Arjuna. So Arjuna got so much power. So they are actually very powerful kings, but all these kings were actually finally killed by Arjuna. So that's why Arjuna is actually lamenting. So the reason for his lamentation will come to know by later verses. Next, another
Hare Krishna
person.
Mataji.
Yes,
Sudha Mataji, Deval Mataji and Bhargavi Mataji are raising their hands. Mataji.
So one person can
Sudha
read this,
Mataji.
then others will continue the next
Yes.
paragraph.
Sudha Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pranams.
Another son of Maharaja Rudrakshetra. He was the king of Sindhu Desha, modern Sindh, Pakistan. His wife's name was Dushala. He was also present in the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi, and he desired very strongly to have her hand, but he failed in the competition. But since then, he always sought the opportunity to get in touch with Draupadi. When he was going to marry in the Shalya Desha, on the way to Kamyavana, he happened to see Draupadi again, and he was too much attracted to her. The Pandavas and Draupadi were then in exile after losing their empire in gambling, and Jayadratha thought it wise to send news to Draupadi in an illicit manner through Shashya, one of his associates. Draupadi at once refused vehemently the proposal of Jayadratha, but being so much attracted by the beauty of Draupadi, he tried again and again. Every time he was refused by Draupadi. He tried to take her away forcibly on his chariot, and at first Draupadi gave him a good dashing, and he fell like a cut through tree. But he was not discouraged, and he was able to force Draupadi to sit on the chariot. This incident was seen by Dhaumya Muni, and he strongly protested the action of Jayadratha. He also followed the chariot and threw Datrika, the matter was brought to the notice of Maharaja Yudhishthira. The Pandavas then attacked the soldiers of Jayadratha and killed them all. And at last, Bhima caught hold of Jayadratha and beat him very severely, almost dead. Then all but 5 hairs were cut off his head, and he was taken to all the kings and introduced as a slave of Maharaja Yudhishthira. He was forced to admit himself to be the slave of Maharaja Yudhishthira before all the princely order, and in the same condition, he was brought before Maharaja Yudhishthira. Maharaja Yudhishthira was kind enough to order him released, and when he was I missed
This one, no,
this.
Mati. You all
And he went to
here, no?
And when he admitted to being a tributary prince under Maharaja Yudhishthira, Queen Draupadi also desired his release. After this incident, he was allowed to return to his country. Being so insulted, he went to Gangotri in the Himalayas and undertook a severe type of penance to please Lord Shiva. He asked his benediction to defeat all the Pandavas at least once at a time. Then the battle of Kurukshetra began, and he took sides with Duryodhana. In the first day's fight, he was engaged with Maharaja Drupada, then with Virata, and then with Abhimanyu. While Abhimanyu was being killed, mercilessly surrounded by 7 great generals, the Pandavas came to his help. But Jayadratha, by the mercy of Lord Shiva, repulsed them with great ability. At this, Arjuna took a vow to kill him, and on hearing this, Jayadratha wanted to leave the war field and asked permission from the Kauravas for this cowardly action. But he was not allowed to do so. On the contrary, he was obliged to fight with Arjuna, and while the fight was going on, Lord Krishna reminded Arjuna that the benediction of Shiva upon Jayadratha was that whoever would cause his head to fall on the ground would die at once. He therefore advised Arjuna to throw the head of Jayadratha directly into the lap of his father, who was engaged in penances at the Samanta Panchaka pilgrimage. This was actually done by Arjuna. Jayadratha's father was surprised to see a severed head on his lap, and he at once threw it on the ground. The father immediately died, his forehead being cracked in 7 pieces. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mati. So this person is very familiar, Jayadratha, by his action, immoral action. So he tried to actually take away Draupadi in many places, and he was actually trying to attack her also. So, but later the Pandavas came to know that, and they also attacked him, and Bhim actually wants to kill him, Bhimsena. But when they actually brought him before Yudhishthira Maharaj, but Yudhishthira Maharaj, he actually doesn't want to kill the Kshatriya, so he just actually mercifully he allowed him to go out. So he was very much hurted, wounded. Then later he started doing penances. He went to the Himalayas and doing penances, and he got the boon that whoever has actually cut off his head, whoever is actually trying to kill him, so whoever actually makes his head to actually come on the floor, come into the floor, that person will die immediately. So Krishna knows about these things. So he finally, when Arjuna was actually fighting with him, because of him only Abhimanyu got killed, no? So they want to actually kill Jayadratha. Pandavas already wants to actually kill Jayadratha. So when Arjuna actually fighting with him, that time Krishna actually told him that he should be careful that when he was actually cutting off his head, it should go to his father's lap. His father was actually doing meditation in a particular place. So Arjuna did like that. When he was actually cutting his head, Jayadratha's head, it actually fall into the lap of his father. So when she was actually meditating, he doesn't know that whose head is. So he immediately actually thrown away the head. So the head actually fall into the floor, and because of that, his father also died. So this is all Krishna's plan. So this is another person. So through these things, they all actually started hating Arjuna after this Swayamvara. So because of Draupadi, they all actually got envious of Pandavas. Okay, so we'll move on to the next sloka. Bhargavi
Hare Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji. Bhargavi Mataji is raising her hands.
Yeah. Could you read the sloka, please?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Sautye vritaha kumatinaat mada ishwaro me yat pada padmam abhavaya bhajanti bhavyah mam shrantavaham arayo rathino bhuvishtam na praharan yat anubhava nirasta chittaha.
Thank you, Mataji. Dev, translation.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Sri Prabhupada ki jai. It was by His mercy only that my enemies neglected to kill me when I descended from my chariot to get water for my thirsty horses. And it was due to my lack of esteem for my Lord that I dared engage him as my chariot driver, for he is worshipped and offered services by the best men to attain salvation. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you.
Shailaja Mataji is raising her hands.
Yeah. Could you read the purport, Mataji?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the object of worship both by impersonalist and by the devotee of Lord. The impersonalist worship his flowing effulgence, emitting from his transcendental body of
The voice is
eternal
breaking,
form,
Mataji.
bliss and knowledge, and the devotees worship him as a super personality of Godhead. One of the greatest historical. Now, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Now.
Yeah, it's better now.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
So those who are below even the impersonalists consider him to be one of the greatest historical personalities. The Lord, however, descends to attract all by his specific transcendental pastimes, and thus he plays the part of the most perfect master, friend, son, and lover. His transcendental relation with Arjuna was in friendship, and the Lord therefore played the part perfectly, as he did with his parents, lovers, and wives. While playing in such perfect transcendental relation, the devotee forgets by the eternal potency of Lord that his friend or son is super personality of Godhead. Although sometimes the devotee is bewildered by the acts of the Lord, after the departure of the Lord, Arjuna was conscious of his great friend, but there was no mistake on part of Arjuna or any ill estimation of Lord. Intelligent men are attracted by the transcendental acting of Lord with a pure, unalloyed devotee like Arjuna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Here, Arjuna is actually recollecting all the pastimes he had with Krishna. So he is missing his association a lot. And he was actually saying that, he's saying that here, it was due to my lack of esteem for my Lord that he actually made him as a chariot driver. So he was actually feeling very bad because he was such a great person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Because whenever the situation, the challenges come to him, the Lord protected him throughout his life. So he is actually recollecting all those things, how he was actually very conscious and he was very concerned about his affairs and all. So he actually considered him or make him as a friend, and the friendly approach is totally different. He will actually treat him in a different way. He treated him in a different way. So that's why, because of my esteem, I considered him as my friend. So here Prabhupada says that that is a purity. It shows his purity. Even when the Lord actually performed his pastimes in Vrindavana with other mood, like when with Vatsalya mood, he actually performed pastimes with Yashoda Maya. So when Yashoda Maya actually she always actually identified him as his son, the Lord as his son. So he doesn't actually make her to think about his supremacy. So through his internal potency, he actually hide because he wants to relish the reciprocation of the devotees. Ye yatamam prapatyante tamstadaiva bhajamyaham. So because of the Lord's internal potency, he actually hided their mood, and he also actually relished their the way of treating, and he also reciprocated according to their treatment. So here also he enjoyed with Arjuna as a friend. So whenever he was actually present with Arjuna, that time Arjuna could not consider him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Lord actually made him to through his internal potency that he is his friend. So there is no fault in Arjuna, because he actually, how he actually made the Lord as a chariot driver and all. It is actually the non-devotees will only actually think like that, but those who are devotees, they can understand the Lord's mercy and the Lord's Leela. So the reciprocation is a natural mutual understanding or between the devotee and the Lord. So that's what happened. So that's why in here Prabhupada mentioned that this was the thing. And the other thing is, here they mentioned about the scarcity of water. So nowadays it is difficult to find where will we get the water, even though we are using different machines, big machines, and they are making lot of noise. They are actually creating lot of dust also, and they are trying to make the hole till 500 meters, 600 meters. So they are not sure, the people are not sure that surely they will get water here. But when this pastime was discussed, that's what Prabhupada mentioned, that even in the war field, it is natural to the scarcity of water will come. So whenever they want water, they will just actually point out the arrow to the particular place, because the people will know that by hitting that place, automatically the water will come. So they are very much actually powerful, talented. Those persons, in those days, the persons were like that. But nowadays we are actually claiming ourselves that we are very much advanced in technology and we are very knowledgeable than the ancient people, but still we cannot actually identify where the water will come, how to actually locate that place and all. So that is the greatness of those aged people and our Kalika people now. Okay, we'll move on to the next sloka, text 18. Dhanashri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Text
Pranams.
18 नर्माण्य उदार रुचिर स्मित शोभितानि हे पार्थ हे अर्जुन सखे कुरुंदनेति संजल्पितानि नरदेव हृदि स्पृशानि स्मर्तुर्लुठन्ति हृदय मम माधवस्य. Shall I read the translation also, Mataji?
Navkishwara Mataji is raising her hand, so
Oh,
let her read.
okay,
Mataji. Thank you so
Mataji.
much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King, his jokings and frank talks were pleasing and beautifully decorated with smiles. His addresses unto me as O son of Pritha, O friend, O son of Kuru dynasty, and all such heartiness are are now remembered by me, and thus I am overwhelmed. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mati. So here Arjuna is expressing his feelings to Yudhishthira Maharaj, that say how nicely they all actually they conversed with each other, like the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and Arjuna. So he usually called him as Pritha, O friend, O son of Kuru dynasty, like that, and he also called him in such a way, in different way. So not actually give a proper respect, that he didn't actually give proper respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he was just actually recollecting how they enjoyed when they were the friends. So this shows his transcendental connection with the Lord. Okay. Next, verse 19. Anyone else? Anybody wants to?
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Pranams Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Shall I?
Yeah, Prabhu,
Mataji.
please continue. Yes, Prabhu.
Sayya Sanatana Vikatana Bodhanis Bodhanad Vishwa Aikyad Vayasya Pratam Iti Viprolabdaha Sakyaha Sakyeva Pritivat Tanyasa Swaram Dehe Mahan Mahitaya Pumater Agrame Agame. Mataji, I am recited not up to the mark, sorry.
It's okay, Prabhu. Anyone else wants to continue with the translation? Yeah, Bhargavi Mataji, please. Bhargavi Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Shall I continue,
Hare Krishna
Mataji,
Mataji. Translation.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Krishnamurti Prabhu can continue the translation. Bhargavi Mataji can read the purport. Yeah, Prabhu, please.
Sorry, Mataji. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Generally, both of us used to live together and sleep, sit and lighter together. And at the time of advertising oneself for acts of chivalry, sometimes if there were any irregularity, I used to reapproach him by saying, "My friend, you are very truthful." Even in those hours when his value was minimized, he, being the supreme soul, used to tolerate all those utterings of mine, excusing me exactly as a true friend excuses his true friend, or a father excuses son. Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Bhargavi Mataji.
Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Since the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, is all perfect, his transcendental pastimes with his pure devotees never lack anything in any respect, either as a friend, son, or lover. The Lord relishes the reproaches of friends, parents, or fiancés more than the Vedic hymns offered to him by great learned scholars and religionists in an official fashion. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Thank you, Mataji. So he has actually done the role. Like whenever we are saying that his actor is very good, whatever character he is doing, he performed very well. We used to say, no, the actor he's a good actor, she is a good actress. Like that, the Lord also performed his Leela in a perfect way in different role, whatever role he is doing, as a friend, as a son, and as a lover. So whatever the position he is in, he actually did everything perfectly. So because he is Purnamadaha Purnamidam, so we cannot actually find any fault in his actions. So that's what here Arjuna expressed. He actually never showed him or show his power that I am so and so. He didn't actually express that. He always associate with Arjuna in the friendly way. So he also couldn't get a chance to actually show that, because he is already hided by the internal potency of the Lord, and through his action also the Lord actually maintained that friendly relationship with the Arjuna. So that's why he couldn't actually understood the supremacy of the Lord during his presence. Okay, so we'll move on to the next verse, text 20. Any of you can read it?
Shall I, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Devi Mataji. Yeah.
Soham Nripendra Rahita Purushottamena Sakhya Priyena Suhrada Hridayena Shunyah Advanya Urukrama Parigraham Angarakshan Gope Rasadbhirakbaleva Vinirjitosmi. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Dharan Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody can read the translation?
Hare Krishna, Pranam Mataji.
Yeah,
Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Emperor, now I am separated from my friend and dearmost well-wisher, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore my heart appears to be void of everything. In his absence, I have been defeated by a number of infidel cowherd men while I was guarding the bodies of all the wives of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Please continue with the purport also, Mataji, since no one is there to read out.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The important point in this verse is how it was possible that Arjuna could be defeated by a gang of ignoble cowherd men, and how such mundane cowherd men could touch the bodies of the wives of Lord Krishna, who were under the protection of Arjuna. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura has justified the contradiction by research in the Vishnu Purana and Brahma Purana. In these Puranas, it is said that once the fair denizens of heaven pleased Ashtavakra Muni by their service and were blessed by the Muni to have the Supreme Lord as their husband. Ashtavakra Muni was curved in 8 joints of his body, and thus he used to move in a peculiar curved manner. The daughters of the demigods could not check their laughter upon seeing the movements of the Muni, and the Muni, being angry at them, cursed them that they would be kidnapped by rogues even if they would get the Lord as their husband. Later on, the girls again satisfied the Muni by their prayers, and the Muni blessed them that they would regain their husband even after being robbed by the rogues. So, in order to keep the word of the great Muni, the Lord himself kidnapped his wife from the protection of Arjuna. Otherwise, they would have at once vanished from the scene as soon as they were touched by the rocks. Besides that, some of the gopis who prayed to become wives of the Lord returned to their respective positions after their desire was fulfilled. After the departure of Lord Krishna, he wanted all his entourage back to Godhead, and they were called back under different conditions only. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, here the Arjuna expressed that without his association, even the small thing seems to be very a tough one. In his presence, with his association, with the association of the Lord, and in his presence, even the tough things seems to be very easier. So that's what he expressed, that all this happened only by the mercy of the Lord. Because of his grace only, we all fought with the other opposite parties, and we got success only by his mercy. So now I am separated. So when he was actually went to Dwaraka and to see the condition and the status of Krishna, then he came to know that Krishna was not there. So he wants to actually protect the wives of Krishna. When he was bring them back, that time he was attacked by the normal cowhead man, and he got defeated. So he was expressing his inability to fight with the normal person. So even I was actually fought with the great personalities and all in the presence of Krishna, but nobody can actually attack me. But because the Krishna is not here now, so I was actually got defeated by even the normal person. So this shows that without Krishna, we cannot achieve success in our life. So he is actually acting as an instrument. The Arjuna is acting as an instrument. It doesn't mean that he doesn't know the value of Krishna. He is actually acting as an instrument in the hands of Krishna. So through his actions, Krishna is actually teaching us the lesson, and he is actually telling us that without his power or without his sanction, nothing will work out in this material world. So that is the main point through these slokas. And other thing is, in his absence, the cowherdmen, like the gopis, so we can we have a question that they all are actually the wives of Krishna. So does it mean that they don't have their power to actually protect themselves, that or Krishna actually left them like that? How it is possible? How Krishna is actually protector of each and every living entity in this material world? How he left his own wives like this? So that question may come. So for that only, Prabhupada given the reason. Because these people, he has actually, how many wives he has? How many wives for Krishna?
16,100.
16,108.
16,108.
16,108.
Yeah, 16,108 wives. Thank you. So in that, the 8 wives are actually prominent. So they all actually left immediately once Krishna disappeared. He already winded up. Whenever he was actually descending in this material world, he used to come with the entourage, with the associates only, and with the devotees. And whenever Krishna is going to leave, that time he will already pack to his associates. He will actually send back to them to their original position. So when he was actually leaving, he already settled them to their original position, to their own planet. And the peoples, those who are actually left over there, they are actually the heavenly citizens. So those people actually, they got a boon from this Ashtavakra Muni. Ashtavakra Muni is actually like 8, he is a curved man, like there was 8 curves in his body. So that's why his name is Ashtavakra. So once he visited in the heavenly planet, that time these Gandharva ladies, they got the opportunity to serve the Ashtavakra Muni very nicely. So the Muni was very much pleased, and he actually fulfilled their desire. Their desire was they want to actually take a role of wife whenever Krishna was actually descending in this material world. So Ashtavakra Muni told that, okay, your desire will be fulfilled. So once he has actually went to take birth in the heavenly planet, when he was actually coming out, when he was actually walking, that time these ladies, whoever actually got the boon, they actually saw his walking. Because he was Ashtavakra, he walked in a different way. So they got, actually they all laughed by seeing him. So he got angry, and he cursed them that even though you got a boon that you are going to be the wives of Krishna, but you will be attacked by the normal people. So you will lose your protection. Then they realized their fault, and they was doing prayers, and they actually pleased the Muni again. Then Muni said that, okay, even though you were actually attacked by Lord, then later finally you will be protected by the Lord. So because to prove the words of Ashtavakra Muni, these people were, the few wives of Krishna were there, and they were attacked by the normal people. When Arjuna was trying to actually protect them, they were attacked by the normal people. So this was mentioned by our Acharya. And our Acharya also told that, so okay, if that was a curse, but these people are not normal people. They are not human beings. Even the Yaduvamsa also, Krishna actually make them to actually leave their this earthly planet, no, when he was actually going to disappear from this material world. Before that, he winded up the Yadukula. So Yadukula, he has actually given that much priority to Yadukula. Then what about his own wives? They are also not normal people. They are from the celestial beings only. So that's what the Acharya mentioned here, that so those who have actually acted as the normal people, the cowherd men, they were also not the normal people. They actually came in the form of a normal people, but that is Krishna only. So his authorized associates only, because without that power, they can't actually touch the wife of those who have taken the role of wives of Krishna. They can't actually touch the wives. Like Sita and Ravana, when Ravana was actually kidnapping Sita, so they used to say, no, that Sita is not a transcendental real Sita. When he was actually kidnapping, that is Maya. So similarly, they are also not normal rogues or normal people. They are also the authorized persons of the Lord only. Okay. So the main thing is, without Krishna, nothing will work. We may try our best. We may falsely think that we are so much talented, we have that much potency, we are very knowledgeable and everything. But these are all zeros. We can add a lot of zeros in our life. Krishna is the number one. Without adding the number, there is no value in that number. Simply adding zeros has no value. Only the added number will give the value to that numbers, the zeros. So the number is Krishna. Without Krishna, nothing is valuable. Okay. So it is very important to have the association with the Vaishnavas, sadhus, shastras, to develop our faith, to continue our relationship with the Lord, to understand our position, and to achieve our destination. Okay. Thank you, Prabhus and Matajis. Any additional
Hare
points?
Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Mataji,
Prabhu. Yeah.
we have no right, or we have no voice to add or anything else. Think is what your kind self has expressed by last sentence. Last
Thank
sentence.
you. Okay.
That is to be remembered by us always. Because without Sri Krishna, really, to be frank with you, Mataji, after hearing this Bhagavatam, so we were becoming, we were lasting, means, so our existence itself is no more, Mataji. See, the glories of Sri Krishna makes us to like that. Mataji, what you are kind of explain, without Krishna, without the association, without the devotion, so nothing will happen to us. So Sri Krishna is the ultimate. So that word, it must be alarm us each and every moment. Then only we will become human beings. Even in Kannada, we sarthakate. I don't know correct word in English. Sarthakate. I sarthakate. Oh, yes. Finished. A satisfaction will come by that word, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. You are great, Mataji.
Thank you.
You are
Thank you,
making us
Prabhu.
to be in Krishna consciousness, really. So we are.
It's
I
all.
don't know. We are all blessed. I am especially. I am particularly. I myself telling. I am always speaking. I am blessed. Blessed because I am hearing the classes by you. But at this age, really, this is not an ordinary thing, Mataji. Sri Krishna is blessed us, raised us to be in Krishna consciousness. The only prayer is be in Krishna consciousness, live in Krishna consciousness, die in Krishna consciousness. Ultimate.
Because the connecting, Prabhu,
because
not by me or you, because the connecting part is Srimad Bhagavatam. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam sugamukha tamrida drava samyidam. This Srimad Bhagavatam was already relished by the liberated souls. Like if the parrot tastes the fruit, then surely the fruit will be very tasteful, juicy and very tasteful. Similarly, this is already relished by the liberated souls. So we are also trying to relish few things from this Srimad Bhagavatam. So because of the association of Srimad Bhagavatam, we should actually try to develop the devotion So we are actually seeking that pure devotion. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your encouraging words.
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, yeah, Mataji, hey, after hearing classes, if you get sleep, definitely we will become very calm. And we were ready. Next day, we were ready for chanting. Early morning by 4 o'clock, we were ready for chanting. So that how the process is continuing. So this is all given by the divine grace. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Also, Mataji, any number of zeros, unless that one is there, it has no value. So unless Krishna, that's a really beautiful thing. Even Shukriti Mataji used to quote it every time, Mataji, in her class, this one.
Yeah.
IYS class. Yeah, Hari Bol.
Thank you all. Hare Krishna, Mataji. So we'll end this session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji, we are supposed to read the shlokas.
Oh, okay. So.
Oh, yeah. It's all
Everybody's in ecstasy. They forgot this thing. Huh?
Yeah.
Shubhangi Mataji, if at all
yes.
You feel you're getting late or something, then you can make
For
me
me, nothing, Mataji. Yeah,
oh.
They all can read.
Okay.
I'm ready to hear.
Sure. Thank you. I'd start, Mataji. Archana Mataji. 1 minute. Shubhangi Mataji, you can
shall I display?
Yeah, and the YouTube.
Means do you have to leave?
No, because you're a host, you can stop YouTube.
So I have to assign and leave. Am I right, Mataji?
No, they say either leave or you can stop.
No, but here it comes assign and leave or assign a new host. It's not coming.
Oh, she left. Okay, you all can start with the shloka. Mataji is there.